Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've tried so many of these. Too many probably. But this one stands out. It caught me off guard. Let's figure out why together. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Starting things off, our first reviewer gives us their perspective.
This reviewer recently switched to a new 5G home internet service and immediately encountered a deeply frustrating issue where their smart TVs could see the new network but steadfastly refused to connect. What followed was a maddening cycle of troubleshooting that ultimately led nowhere. Our reviewer spent countless unproductive hours on the phone with their internet provider's tech support, trying everything from performing software updates and factory resetting the TVs to changing network names. Despite all the effort, nothing worked. Ultimately, the provider suggested two completely unacceptable options. Either replace the perfectly good televisions or run a physical Ethernet cable from the router to each set, which was simply not practical. Refusing to accept either choice, this client sought an alternative and discovered a solution in the form of a Wi-Fi internet bridge. The experience with this network adapter was a breath of fresh air after the previous ordeal. From the moment they opened the box, it took a mere 10 minutes to get everything configured and establish a solid, stable connection that effectively simulates a direct wired link for the TVs. This client expressed immense relief, stating that the device works beautifully and wishing they had known about this type of gadget before enduring the whole frustrating saga with tech support. They wanted to share their honest opinion, not as a paid endorsement, but simply as a genuine recommendation for anyone who might find themselves in the same seemingly impossible situation. It proved to be the only viable option that solved the problem perfectly.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer was looking for a way to keep using a beloved, old-school printer that has been a reliable workhorse for years. While the printer itself is built like a tank and will likely outlast everything else, its one major drawback is its lack of any wireless capability. This wasn't a huge deal in the past, but after a move to a smaller apartment, it became a real hassle, requiring an Ethernet cable to be dragged across the floor every time something needed to be printed. Fortunately, this little network bridge completely solved that issue, seamlessly connecting the legacy hardware to the modern home Wi-Fi network. While the device works well, our reviewer did note a couple of small hitches during setup. The included documentation wasn't entirely clear in distinguishing between the different operational modes, specifically its function as a Wi-Fi extender versus a pure wireless to Ethernet adapter. This client also expressed a wish for more granular control over the features, particularly an option to disable the Wi-Fi extension broadcast. Since it wasn't needed for their specific use case, having it on just clutters the airwaves and seems like a waste of energy. One initial technical concern was how the adapter would handle network settings. The user was worried it might interfere with the printer's static IP address, but those fears were completely unfounded. The printer connected to the network and printed a test page on the first try with its existing fixed IP, with no adjustments needed. Ultimately, this device is a good product that does its job well. With a clearer setup process and more user control over its features, it would be a perfect solution.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer was absolutely blown away by this network adapter. The setup process was ridiculously easy, taking only about 5 minutes, and it integrates seamlessly with my existing home network. My particular need was a bit niche. I have some older equipment running on outdated operating systems that don't play well with USB Wi-Fi options, but still work perfectly with Ethernet. To avoid the hassle of running long cables from my server to these machines, our reviewer decided to give this network bridge a shot, and it far surpassed all expectations. After the initial, simple setup connecting it to my wireless network, I simply plugged it into one of these older PCs using a standard Ethernet cable, and it connected automatically. I opted for the 2.4 GHz band instead of the 5 GHz option, just to be sure it would be compatible with the older OS. The 2.4 GHz connection has proven to be rock solid, providing a surprisingly fast and consistent data transfer speed for handling the files and images coming from my instruments. This adapter has truly been a game changer for my particular setup, and this client will definitely be buying more of these for my remaining legacy instruments. I wholeheartedly recommend it to anyone facing similar network connectivity challenges.
that's all for today. If you like this, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.